What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another solo Steve O reaction to the Bad Batch, episode number 12. Digging this show. I'm very much enjoying it. And they gave us something that was, again, another huge surprise, it feels like, in this show. We got to see Hera, and we got to see Chopper. And it's just so cool being able to get more backstory, filling in the gaps to things that we've already experienced, people we already know, droids we already know. I think it's a lot of fun. And again, I keep talking about it because I really am fascinated by it. Just watching the way the Empire is going into these cities and these planets and putting their footprint in and taking control of stuff. And I think it's just fascinating to watch them just continually to kind of spread like the plague that the Empire is. You could see pockets of people within these communities and these societies being like, nah, man, hell no, I'm out. But then you see others that are just kind of like compliant and they don't really feel like they have options. And, you know, watching the leaders kind of handle things, I think it's all super interesting. And I do hope we get even more stuff with the Rebels, because we got a taste of that early on and then we haven't really touched on it again since. But getting more kind of stuff with the Rebellion getting built up, all the stuff that we've seen with the Empire, I thought has been fascinating. Seeing Hera again and just the connection that she's having with Omega and the whole flying thing and just the parallels of just seeing what we saw in Rebels and all that stuff. It is just so cool and it's a lot of fun. We didn't get a big Bad Batch episode, which I think is perfectly fine when you're telling this kind of like tangent story to fill in some gaps and to kind of just make a story that we already know even bigger and even better. This is going to be a part 2 of the last episode, and I think the Bad Batch is going to be heavily involved in this episode because, again, you couldn't do back-to-back episodes without the Bad Batch, obviously. But yeah, things are really interesting with them and everything that's going on there. I'm loving the Crosshair storyline. I think he is such an intriguing character because, again, it's been proposed, like, what if he is presented with an option and decides to stay with the Empire? Because it feels like he's got a really cush position right now, that he's like in a really good spot. He's a leader. He's getting stuff done. You know, if push comes to shove, like, is he going to pick the Empire over going back with his boys? I hope he goes back with his boys. He belongs to the Bad Batch. Hopefully we can get this chip thing figured out and maybe get him back with the boys and figure out what happens there. I don't want any of these folks to die, even though I do kind of feel like that we are kind of going down that road a little bit. And by the way, speaking of which, I did not give Star Wars permission to use my likeness in this show. Hauser is like a clone version of me, right? With the whole, like, he's got my hairdo. You guys were mentioning, I didn't even realize, like, I don't put that kind of stuff together. But you guys mentioned it in the comments in the last episode. Hauser, he's got my do. If I was a clone, is that what I would look like? I don't know. I'm in Star Wars. It's canon. Mark it down. Put it down. I'm in Star Wars. It's canon. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Love the idea. I think it's fantastic. But yeah, I'm really digging this show. We've only got a handful of episodes left. I can't wait to see where the story goes because we have literally hit on so many different aspects of the Star Wars universe. Seeing characters that we know as children, much younger, seeing other characters inserted, and it's been a wild journey. It's kind of like, I don't know if like disjointed's the right word because that feels kind of negative, but like we have hit on so many different things, and the whole Sid and Bad Batch dynamic really kind of makes it easy for the Bad Batch to keep getting sent to these places and running into these folks that we're familiar with. But it feels kind of interesting and kind of weird at the same time that we've literally hit on so many different things within the first 11 episodes of this show. I'm digging it. I think it's fun. I'm a huge proponent and believer in expanding the universe and telling new stories and kind of hitting on things that we've never seen before. But if the storytelling is great, which I feel like this storytelling is really good, I'm enjoying it very much. If we're going to be backfilling things and connecting the dots and building bridges to other things and getting more backstory on certain characters, I'm all for it as long as it's done right and it makes sense. And I feel like a lot of this has made a lot of sense. And again, I'm enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun with this show. I'm ready to check out this episode. Are y'all ready? Let's go. It's totally my due. Totally. You guys are funny.
Cham Syndulla, the liberator of Ryloth, now the traitor of Ryloth. How unfortunate for your people to see you fall. Your loyal followers will be even easier to deal with. Your daughter, too. You don't know Hera. Tell us where she is, and I will ensure she is returned to you safely.
Nah.
I have seen how you treat your allies, Admiral. I prefer to be your enemy.
Hauser's very interesting. I feel like this dude's gonna be a big player.
I'll locate Harris and Dula myself.
That's not necessary. Another squad is handling that. It's only a matter of time before she's found.
This dude throws out a lot of questionable feels.
We searched the house. The Syndulla girl's gone.
She could have already fled the planet.
Not without her parents. Find her.
New plan, Chop. Meet me at the base. We need to send out a transmission, and fast.
Oh, is Hera gonna reach directly out to Omega? Because they're buddies now?
Omega, it's Hera. You have to come back to Ryloth.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope.
I'm sending coordinates. Please hurry. I need your help. We have to go. She needs us.
Omega, we can't put ourselves on the line every time someone's in trouble.
Why not? Isn't that what soldiers do?
Omega hitting them with a little bit of, gotta go help or else we're bad. It's like, damn, making them question their ethics.
Thank you for coming. You said you were in trouble.
Care to tell us why the Empire's after you?
Because my father is Chom Syndulla.
What do you want us to do?
Free my parents from the capital. Please, I don't have anyone else to ask.
Let's see what we're up against first, but no guarantees.
Omega making deals for them that could get them into some trouble.
Hunter, Crosshair's here.
Great. Just what we need.
This definitely feels like one of those situations that you should not engage.
I don't like the look of this. This is a military occupation. Ryloth's not a separatist planet.
Exactly my point.
Shit.
The Empire will know we're here, and so will Crosshair.
I guess you got no choice now. Crosshair is scary!
We are all over the Imperial comm channels.
Crosshair will expect an attack. The element of surprise is gone. There's nothing we can do. What you're asking us to do is not worth the risk.
Not to you. You shouldn't have said that.
Being strategic means knowing your limitations, Omega.
She's trying to save her family, Hunter. I'd do the same for you.
It's business, it's not personal.
If we continue rounding up peaceful citizens, it will incite an uprising.
Then they will be arrested too. Peace has a cost, Captain.
Clone Force 99 is on Ryloth. They were spotted near the capital. I know what they're capable of.
I suggest you stay on task, or I will find someone who can.
Little Hauser and Crosshair stare down. That's fun.
Hunter means well. He'll come around. Why do you trust him so much? Because he's my brother. They all are. You're lucky. You can trust them too. All we need to do is think of a plan and convince Hunter. Why would he listen to me? Because it's strategic.
I love Chopper.
You both attacked an Imperial convoy. What did you think would happen?
That gave us no choice. We had to protect Hera.
That's what I'm trying to do. If you know where she is, tell me. I'll protect her.
Like how you swore to protect Ryloth? We trusted you, Hauser. I won't make that mistake again.
Damn. I'm not sure Hauser's the one you want to create an enemy with.
You two go with Chopper as backup, but at a distance.
Really?
By themselves. Echo and I will scale the capital wall and free Hera's parents.
I mean, that seems like a dangerous plan, relying on the two youngest members of your little crew to... I mean, obviously we know what Hera becomes, and she's dope at all this stuff. But I mean, they got Chopper, so we're good. We're good. Chopper will get shit done. No problem. Fucking Chopper, dude.
You said you wanted to be a pilot, right?
Yeah?
Well, come on.
What? Young Hera and Omega stealing a ship feels very much like Phantom Menace with Anakin stealing a ship.
Has Chopper deactivated the perimeter cannons?
Hera and I are working on it. Just don't shoot down our shuttle.
Wait, what shuttle?
Here we go.
Jeez, dude. Get him, Chopper! Let's go! Oh, yeah.
Cannons are down.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Piece of cake. Man, they're getting messed up.
What are you doing here?
Breaking you out.
They are mercenaries. I didn't hire them for this.
Hera did.
We are getting the hang of this.
Everyone had to start somewhere, right?
The Admiral said to protect the refinery.
That's not their target.
Crosshair knows what's up. Create a diversion.
You're walking into a trap.
Hell yeah, Hauser.
Squad out
Let's
there
go.
waiting.
Why should we trust you?
Because I'm on your side. What the Empire is doing is wrong.
They had the exits blocked.
We can use Senator Taz's shuttle in his private tower hangar.
I should have stopped this sooner.
Our fight for Ryloth is not over. We will return.
Go. While there's still time.
That doesn't feel like a good situation for Hauser at all. I feel like Crosshair will friggin' just take him out immediately.
Brothers, what are we doing? We came here to free Ryloth from Separatist control, and we succeeded. Now being ordered to target the very people we swore to protect, and I will not be a part of it any longer.
Arrest those traitors.
This is a good episode. I'm enjoying this story that's developing.
Well, co-pilot, we didn't do too bad.
Do you have to go?
For now. But I'm sure I'll see you around. And keep an eye on your brothers. They need it.
I will.
Thanks for believing in me.
I'm wondering what kind of future we're going to get with Hera and Omega, because that's definitely not the last time we're going to see them together.
I underestimated your four friends. If only they were fighting for us instead of against us.
Request permission to hunt them down.
Granted.
Hasn't that been his mission this whole time? I don't know, I kind of feel like that's what he's kind of been focused on most of the season since they split parts, but whatever. I think it's still very interesting though, absolutely. And again, you continue to just see this empire having this impact on everyone in the world and the galaxy, and people are clearly picking sides. And again, I think it's a really fascinating story because we ultimately know what the empire becomes and how it ends up falling, and watching its beginning is very interesting, and I'm enjoying it very much. And it's very heartbreaking because obviously no one wants, well, maybe not no one, but many individuals don't seem to want what the Empire is offering for obvious reasons. They're talking about doing things their way, but it ultimately gives up their freedoms, which obviously that's what the Empire does. And it's like grip and just control of the galaxy turns into a really big issue, which again, I want to just continue to see also side stories with with the rebellion building up and growing from scratch. And I feel like with what this show has done, it's made it very easy to tell some of that story, and they've already done it early on, and hopefully we get more of that. I think there's, what, 4 episodes left? Which is wild. This show has gone by pretty quick considering how many episodes it is, but I'm definitely digging just all of the storytelling, and I'm wondering... I'm so curious about Hauser now, because he clearly is different. And he seems to have free will and the ability to make decisions. Yeah, I'm loving this dude. I'm not feeling too good for him, obviously. But yeah, I'm really curious to see kind of where his story goes now, because, I mean, we're sporting. I mean, his hair is a little better than mine. I think his hair looks better. But we kind of sport the same fade, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I'm digging this new character. I definitely think at some point, whether it's now in the Bad Batch or another piece of content we see later down the road, Omega is getting, unless she dies in the next few episodes, which I do not expect, I am 100% expecting to see her in some form of content somewhere. Whether it's another animated series, whether it's the Boba Fett show. But again, you're going to have to be like, where has she been this whole time? They're going to have to do a lot of backfill on that story to have it make a lot of sense, which is always the trouble of inserting. Obviously, she's a big character. Inserting a character like this within a universe that is already like well established and has gone through a lot, it's hard because you always have to kind of give an explanation as to where did they go? What were they doing? Rogue One's easy. They all died. Like, we knew that was going to happen. It was very much like a Titanic situation where you kind of knew how it was going to end and where it was going to end. But it was about the storytelling and the way they filled that. By the way, Rogue One's one of my favorite Star Wars movies of all time. I feel like the third act is some of the best Star Wars we've ever seen between the space battle and the Vader stuff. But it's very much one of those stories where we knew exactly where the ending was. But getting all the backfill about the rebels and the plans and the, like, finally telling the story about how there was such an easy way for, even though it wasn't easy, for, like, the rebels to blow at the Death Star, like, all that stuff. Like, we knew where it was leading to, and it still was able to tell a really good story, which is a challenge. And I'm just fascinated and very curious to see what they're going to do with Omega, because, I mean, she's building relationships with a lot of people who have impacts on this world, specifically Fennec, who we see down the road in The Mandalorian. And, you know, I wonder if that relationship kind of sparks back up, and that's how she kind of shows up on maybe the Book of Boba Fett, which would be kind of interesting to see her live action. But again, I'm just very curious to see and learn more. We've gotten a lot with her, and I feel like it's been a really slow burn. And I'm kind of ready now to know more about this character. Does she have Force abilities? Why is she able to learn and adapt things so quickly? There's a lot. And just this idea of the Bad Batch and Crosshair and their relationship, and how is this going to end with them? If it even ends this season. I don't know if there's plans for a season 2 of this. Let me know. I tried to avoid news things for just don't want to get spoiled on stuff like that. But I'm really curious to see where their story goes. What is Crosshair ultimately going to do? Is someone going to get taken out? Is he going to make a decision? I think that's like probably one of the biggest things this story is the internal conflict of the actual Bad Batch and kind of where they go, and then like Omega and the Empire and the Rebellion and all that stuff kind of filling in as we go. And yeah, just a few more episodes. I'm excited to see where it goes. Y'all leave your comments down below. What do you think of that episode? Where do you think they're going? What do you think's going to happen? Share all your feelings, thoughts, predictions, and theories, and catch you later. Have a good one. Bye.